Here's what happens. There's this list of 100 thoughts that drain entrepreneurs, and I'm going to share them with you, as well as a simple habit that can help you to interrupt these thoughts and then start the process of letting them go. So you don't have to carry that stress constantly that's connected to these thoughts that can come up. If you're just starting off, or if you've been in it for a few years as an entrepreneur, you're going to relate to some of these thoughts. Going through this list myself, I'm like, yeah, I remember a lot of these different thoughts that are coming up. Still to the day of this recording, they can come up. And the first time over a decade ago, when I started off as an entrepreneur, specifically I was a DJ, so I got started. I remembered how there are a lot of these moments where you can feel lonely. And that's another reason why I wanted to do this for you, was to let you know that you're not alone in having these thoughts, as well as recognizing there are people in your life, if that's friends, that could make jokes about you building your business, or it could be your grandma being like, maybe you're not cut out to work on your business. There's a lot of those shoulds that can be put on you. You can get shoulded on a lot. And so what I want to help you to do is not to stay stuck in all these thoughts that can come up, that can drain you, and instead to be able to move forward so that you can continue on this journey for yourself. Because it already comes with a lot of uncertainty and a lot of unknowns. And what I hope this can also help you to be able to do is to understand more about these thoughts that you're having, because I go back to the more you understand, less fear grows. This is Make Burnout Extinct. I'm Robert David Weeks. Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. And if you haven't done it yet, you can subscribe and follow the show for the latest episodes and to help make this show even better. Let's get into it for these 100 thoughts. I broke them down into different categories. I got 10 for each one of these categories. I'm going to look at the amount of numbers I have here for the categories. There are 10 categories. Yeah, actually, that would make sense with my math if I had that right. So 10 per category. I thought it'd be cool to add some fun into this, because it's going to start with less intensity and then move up with its intensity for these thoughts. And so what I thought would be cool is, and I know it in the moment it may not feel cool, but is to actually ask yourself, how many of these thoughts do you have or have experienced throughout your journey as you're working on your business? Because when you can figure out that total number at the end, what's the good news is, if that number is big, then the transformation and change that can happen for the relief can also be big. And that is where that's why I say it can be really cool, because you can then feel massively different for how you're showing up in your day, moving forward and working on your business. And that can then help create a lot of awesome momentum to move you forward. So let's get into it for the 10. The first one is the category is pressure and overload. And you can either say yes or no if you have had this thought before. And then I'll give you space after each section of this for the category to give yourself time to remember your total number. First one is, I'm tired, but there's not much to do, or there's too much to do. Already starting it off, messing up on the first one here. Let me repeat it. I'm tired, but there's too much to do. I can't relax unless everything's done. There's always something I'm forgetting. I can't let myself slow down. Everything depends on me showing up. Number 6 is, I don't have time to process this right now. Number 7, I'm behind on everything. Number 8, I should have this figured out by now. Number 9, this should be working by now. Number 10, why is this taking me so long? So what was your number? Right away, the one that I want to highlight is, why is this taking me so long? I've said that so many different times. It's been over a decade now since starting my first business. And there have been certain years where it feels like spaghetti I'm throwing against the wall, trying to figure this out. This one, next section, is going to be the overthinking and the self-doubt. Number 11, if I stop, I'm scared everything will collapse. 12, if I stop performing, it'll all disappear. 13, I'm scared I'll burn it all down one day. 14, what if I screw this up? 15, what if this is as good as it gets? 16, I've made too many mistakes to fully trust myself. 17, I'm afraid I've lost my edge. 18, I don't trust my instincts anymore. 19, I keep going even though it's breaking me. 20, I feel pressure to always have the answer. What's your total number so far? You can tally it up. Number 19, I keep going even though it's breaking me. I connect back to when I hit my burnout after the social media conference I founded, where 500 people came together called SMAGCon, where I knew I was exhausted, but I felt like I had to carry the weight of this whole entire event on my shoulders, and I couldn't ask for help. And that was where I felt really lonely. That was a struggle. And it took a lot of effort and courage to then actually share it with another person I was helping out with the event, who was just volunteering to be able to share what was going on. And that was the first person where I really shared everything, because they had known me. It was someone I considered a friend at the time. So that one really hits. Next one is this category is like isolation and responsibility. 21, I have to be strong for everyone else. 22, I can't tell anyone I feel stuck. They look up to me. 23, I'm not allowed to complain at this level. 24, people think I'm crushing it, but I'm drowning. 25, my partner deserves more than I can give right now. 26, I don't want to be a burden. 27, I don't know how to ask for help. 28, I don't want to let anyone down. 29, I feel like I'm failing silently. 30, I wish I had someone who really understood. Tally up those numbers for you. And then the one I connect to is I don't want to let anyone down. I care too much is also the thought that can come up. But that is also a gift if you can relate to that too. A gift of caring. But it's remembering that all of these different thoughts, they're a signal from the body. I want to get into it a little bit more later. All right, this next category is like the emotional disconnection that can happen. 31, I don't even know what I enjoy anymore. 32, I miss when business felt fun. 33, I don't feel connected anymore to anything. 34, I keep showing up, but it doesn't feel like enough. 35, I wish I could be more present. 36, I feel like I'm missing my own life. 37, I feel numb most of the time. 38, I'm tired of pretending I'm okay. 39, I don't know how to let myself be seen. 40, I don't feel grounded, just spinning. All right, what's the total number for this category? I'm tired of pretending I'm okay is one that sticks up. There are sticks in my mind. The other one is I don't know how to let myself be seen. This was a struggle of being seen online as well as in person for speaking opportunities I had. I wanted to really, this one connects back to my first networking event after college, where I went to an entrepreneur event, and I couldn't even go through the door of the room where the event was being held because I was so scared to just be what I thought at the time was like how to be myself. I was really trying to figure that out. And at the time, I went with the intention of being able to show up in a genuine way, but I couldn't even do that. It was a struggle. So it's been a lot of years of working on that. Next one is related to like time pressure and guilt. 41, I never feel like I've done enough. All right, I gotta work on this. 42, I can't shut my brain off at night. 43, I don't feel excited anymore, just responsible. 44, I feel guilty when I take care of myself. 45, I don't know how to switch off work mode. 46, I'm scared of wasting my potential. 47, if I rest, I'll fall behind. 48, what if all this effort ends up being for nothing? 49, Everyone else seems to be doing better. 50. I wish I didn't have to keep proving myself. 48 sticks in my mind. Also, make sure you're tallying up your number. What if all this effort ends up being for nothing? There's a lot of unknown that comes with the territory of being an entrepreneur working on a business. It's having to courageously continue to move forward in that, because it can create a stress response from the body. That is where you can freeze. That's where this thought comes up. Or this is where the thought can come up in that space of freezing for what I call a tornado thought. And all these relate to tornado thoughts. Next one is survival mode. 51. I don't know how to be still. 52. I hate how reactive I've become. 53. My body feels tense all the time. 54. I don't feel safe in my own body. 55. Even my breath feels tight lately. 56. I hate how much pressure I put on myself. 57. I feel like I'm always bracing for something. 58. I'm scared to slow down and face what's underneath. 59. I'm scared to pause because everything might catch up. 60. I'm always anticipating the next problem. Tally up your numbers, your total number here. 54 sticks in my mind. I feel that one. I don't feel safe in my own body. Growing up, since I can remember, there's a lot of fear connected back to my body. The fears of my appendix is going to burst was one, or the fear of having some health issues like cancer coming in, experiencing that, because there's a lot of family members that have had cancer before. And so by thinking about all of those different things that can come up and then freezing, I'm not actually able to put energy and time as much as I'd like to working on the business. And so going into starting off over a decade ago and going into those first few years, that had an effect on me for not moving faster towards what it is I want. And that's where then the thought of like, is this actually going to work out for all the effort? So that comes up, and it's remembering for you. I go back to how important it is to understand this skill that I believe is one of the most important skills to master as an entrepreneur, which is communication with your body. Your body's constantly communicating with you with different signals, and it can come in the form of thoughts as well. And it's really important to recognize what's going on. And then from there, being able to adapt. And I'm going to get into, after I go through this next round, I'm going to share with you the simple habit that you can use to interrupt these thoughts. This next category is misalignment and identity crisis. 61. I'm building something I don't even know if I want anymore. 62. I've disconnected from the reason I started. 63. I've lost my sense of direction. 64. I don't know what I'm chasing anymore. 65. I don't know who I am outside of work. 66. I feel like I've outgrown my current path. 67. I'm starting to resent the thing I built. 68. I want out, but I don't want to quit. 69. I don't want my life to just be work. 70. I feel like I built a life I don't know how to live in. Tally up your total number. 69, I don't want my life to just be work, is remembering that with Make Burnout Extinct, it has a few different meanings. One is eliminating chronic stress, so you feel more energized than drained as you work on your business. The other one is realizing that business is just one part of your epic life. And so it's remembering all these other categories, like your health and fitness and your relationships. What's cool is they're all interconnected as well. So if one area isn't working out, but another one area is, you can channel that momentum in the other area and bring it into, let's say, work. If it's not working out, if the work in the business is feeling, what am I trying to say with that? Like you're frozen and you feel stuck. So now the habit that you can use. It's very simple. whenever you have these thoughts that come up, give yourself space to be able to actually get up if you're inside or if you're sitting down, and then get outside. And once you're outside, then find some things you can jump on and then jump on them a few different times. So that could be a ledge, like I think of a retaining wall. That's where I'm at here in Santa Barbara. And there's like a retaining wall I can jump on. Or it could be there's these, what are they called? I can't remember the game, but where you would, on the sidewalk, you would draw squares and you could jump on the squares. That there's these blocks of cement that are, acting like steps where I can jump on them. And then there's actual stairs where I could jump on the stairs a few times. And there's like a nice square cement block where I can jump on after a few stairs. So it's like box jumps, is how you can think about it for an exercise. And what's happening is it interrupts the thought. So you're not sitting in that thought, you're moving, which literally produces energy in the body. So you feel more energized. And when you're feeling more energized, you can have a new perspective on the thought, because the thought can be a signal, or the thought is a signal that can come through that can have a message of what to adapt for you on either a habit level in the day or on the belief system level. So you don't have to take it as something that's so overwhelming and all consuming and 100% truth, but actually it could be a signal from your body that you haven't made a decision yet on something, or you actually are putting off something you could be doing you could be sending out for an email, or making the call, or organizing a project. And that could be what this is trying to tell you. It could also be trying to tell you, hey, take a moment to reset from the work and get movement in, go outside and change environments, because you're stuck on a challenge that you're dealing with and you're not finding the answer right now. So literally, you don't have to take these thoughts at face value for what they're trying to tell you. It could be just a moment for you to give yourself space so that you can actually increase your capacity in your body, because these thoughts are tornado thoughts that then can create this, what I call pressure balloon in the body, where you can feel the signal of pressure and then you can feel stress that's building up. And so by moving, it can be a way to then release that pressure out, give you that space for capacity to then figure out your next move. Next one for the section is fear of being found out. 71. What if they find out I don't have it all together? 72. I feel like I'm faking it every day. 73. I feel like a fraud when I talk about success. 74. I wish I felt more peace in my success. 75. I don't want to admit I'm struggling. 76. I feel like I don't belong anywhere right now. 77. I'm afraid of losing everything. 78. I'm afraid I'll never feel truly satisfied. 79. I'm scared I'm not a good enough leader. 80. I don't know how to get out of this loop. All right, tally up your total number. And then 78 is the one that comes up for me. Another meaning of make, burn, out, extinct is being satisfied in your daily effort and realizing you're capable of more. And that's where I connect to that, is putting out the effort that you can be satisfied with. Next one for the section is collapse, control, and shame that can come up with as themes. 81. I wish I could just disappear for a while. 82. I don't know who I'd be without the pressure. 83. I feel stuck between ambition and burnout. 84. I'm scared to change, but more scared not to. 85. I'm scared I'll never feel normal again. 86. I'm surviving, not thriving. 87. I want to feel like myself again. 88. I don't know how to let go. 90. I don't know how to come back from this. Tally up your total number with that. And then the one, I'm scared to change, but more scared not to. That is the reminder of what are the beliefs that are driving you when these thoughts come up. Does that belief support you? That's where you're giving yourself space when you interrupt the thought, and then ask yourself which belief is in the driver's seat right now, because you can change which beliefs drive you. Here's the last section we're going to go through together. This is related to like the freedom, the first step towards change. 91. I thought I'd be free by now. Why am I still trapped? 92. I want to feel more peace and less pressure. 93. I wish I could trust myself again. 94. I want to be proud of how I'm living. 95. I don't want to keep doing it like this. 96. I want to enjoy the life I've built. 97. I want to move with ease again. 98. I want to feel clear about what matters. 99. I want to stop living on autopilot. 100. I want to feel like me again. Now tally up the numbers. That's 100. Went through the whole list. Once, if you can remember, hopefully you wrote it down. If not, what would be your rough estimate of how many of these thoughts you've had? Because what I want to share with you is an important principle to hold on to. When these thoughts come up, when you interrupt the thoughts, when you give yourself that space, also come back to this principle, which is the principle of immense potential. It states that you have more potential within you than you could ever develop in your lifetime. True fulfillment comes from being on the path of developing your potential. Where I feel the most fulfilled is when I'm on the path of growth, of progress, of moving forward. And it's recognizing you're capable of more. And so when you look at that number, you don't have to look at it, or when you think about the number, you don't have to think about it like, shit, can't believe I had these many thoughts. It is natural for these thoughts to come up. But it doesn't have to be an excuse to not move forward. But what you can recognize is how big the relief can be when you move forward. And when you don't let these thoughts drain you by actually facing those thoughts, interrupting them, understanding what the body's trying to communicate to you, and then adapting, making those changes, and then moving forward. If you haven't heard it yet today, I believe in you. You have these capabilities, and you have the ability to master this skill of communication with your body. You got this.